is. And the problem is that, you know, the real focus should be going after illegal firearms, right? Illegal guns and illegal purchases, and going after criminals. But that's not the focus in this state, because that would require tough work. Instead, they go after legal gun owners, sportsmen, and legal firearms.
Okay. This one speaks of the toy gun issue. You want to set this up? You want to just look at it and
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look at Greg Ball on the Assembly floor. Then we're back with Assemblyman Greg Ball.
I rise to explain my vote. You know, we just there's a piece of legislation that we just passed out of this chamber that was debated, you know, rather artfully by one of my colleagues, whose name sounds like a familiar pasta dish, and you know, it became obvious that in the wording of that bill that law-abiding gun owners could actually become criminals and slated as criminals under this piece of legislation. And we just allowed it to sail through the chamber. We just had another debate where I remember this debate very distinctively, where a former colleague and myself debated this bill, and it became evident. I know for the vast majority of you may not realize it, but duck and turkey hunters, I don't know whether Davy Crockett or Daniel Boone or whatever the heck their names were that were referred to before, were duck or turkey hunters, but as a matter of practice, as a matter of their trade and what they do, duck and turkey hunters camouflage their long guns, their firearms. And a vast majority of sportsmen do rust coating. Now, this bill states a toy gun that shall include any rifle or shotgun displaying a color finish other than the original manufacturer color. So whether it be camouflage for duck hunting or turkey hunting, or whether it just be a rust coating, this piece of legislation will turn duck and turkey hunters and sportsmen throughout the state of New York, will put them into a category of being criminals. This legislation, the genesis of which was there are pistols on the street that are pink, that are neon yellow. Debate that all you want. But once again, this is the slippery slope chamber, and this piece of legislation will turn law-abiding gun owners and hunters in this state, who are just referred to as Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone, it'll turn those law-abiding Second Amendment advocates and sportsmen in New York State into criminals and put them into a criminal category. This is disastrous, and I hope that the Senate, somebody in the Senate, is watching, because this is going to be a very interesting next few years if the legislation that's poorly crafted, poorly worded, and targets law-abiding citizens in the state continues to sail through this chamber and be passed on the other side without any repercussion, without any serious debate. That's why I'm voting in the negative.
All right, about 2 minutes left.
That's
your argument in all these, slippery slope argument.
Yeah, so the folks at home understand. Basically, Mayor Bloomberg was upset with guns that were finding their way onto the street that were neon colored, like pink and yellow, that gangs were using. So they passed they just passed this piece of legislation which would outlaw changing the original manufacturer's color. Well, turkey hunters and duck hunters sitting in blinds camouflage their firearms. Rust coating. Okay, that would turn those folks into criminals. This is a horrible piece of legislation. It should have never passed the Assembly, should have been pulled from the floor, but they don't care.
One final piece of tape. We're running low on time. This is calls for the renewal of licenses every 5 years. Why is this a bad thing?
Oh, I mean, it's bringing New York City gun laws and trying to spread them throughout the state. Crimes are not being committed by law-abiding firearm owners. They're being committed by criminals without a pistol permit. So why continue to run law-abiding gun owners through the mill? And the state police already do this as a matter of practice.
Let's go to the tape, then we're going to wrap it up with Assemblyman Greg Ball.
Over 95% of gun crimes in New York State and throughout the United States of America are created by illegal guns. If this legislative body wants to do anything to make sure that our streets are safe, that our families are safe, then let's burn the midnight oil and do the right thing and do everything we can to clamp down and to crack down on the illegal trade in illegal firearms. That's what we need to do. That's the tough decision. That's the tough debate, and that's going to require the tough work. And maybe that's why we're not dealing with it today. This bill infringes upon the law-abiding rights of Second Amendment supporters and legal gun owners throughout this state. If you want to target deer hunters and turkey hunters and duck hunters, congratulations, vote for this bill. If you want to focus on illegal crimes that are butchering our communities from the western part of this state to the eastern part of this state. Let's get back to work, vote against this bill, and pass something to crack down on the illegal trade and illegal firearms. Thank you.
That's about it. Wish we had more time. We'll follow up on the next show on some of these bills.
Okay, let's do
Great
it.
show. All right, Greg Ball, thank you for joining us. Thank you out there for joining us on this edition of Assembly Calendar. We'll see you soon. I'm Ted Flynn.